Hey guys, welcome to my beginner's guide for the new update RuneScape 3. A lot of people have been being very frustrated with the new interfaces, and some people have even gone to the extreme of quitting, and there's been various people who have done that. And I thought that they're quitting without even giving the game a fair chance. So before you guys go out and quit and stuff, I thought if you're having troubles, I might as well explain a little bit to you, because I've figured out a little bit of what's going on, a decent amount I must say. And I have found to enjoy RS3 10 times better than it was before. It's a really nice update once you know what you're doing. So hopefully this guide will help you guys get started and get used to the new update a little bit more so that you can enjoy the game a little bit more. So my first step for you guys is to be patient when opening the game up for the first time, which I'm sure most of you guys have gotten to that part by now, but for those of you still struggling with that, it's going to take you a bit of time for the game to load, and as soon as the update's going to take you a while. And also make sure you download the new RS3 client. There is a new client that is dedicated to that. It should pop up when you open the game. It makes the game run much more smoothly, and all that. It'll help you out a lot in the long run. So that should help your performance quality a little bit. This isn't going to be a guaranteed 100% solution, because there's still plenty of bugs in an update that hasn't even been out 24 hours yet. So give it some time. But if that will be your biggest, that's what you have to do to open the game. As soon as you download and install the update for the first time when opening the client, the rest of the time it will not take as long. It took me about 10 to 15 minutes to open the game the first time, and now I open it up in the same 30 seconds that it took before. So just be patient with it first, and then you'll never have that problem again. Alright, so once you've logged in, your screen should look a little bit like this. You'll be in Lumbridge. You'll be getting about 12 frames per hour, and it'll be really laggy, especially if you did this earlier. It'll be very laggy, and it's going to look like crap. It looks pretty bad if you ask me. But now is the most important thing you will do to increase your performance. You'll have an arrow going to this KURA person. So after watching the cutscene, which will take you a minute or two, as you can see, lag is very bad here. And you just talk to her once, and as soon as you talk to her, unless you have a high quality computer and you want to get involved in all this crap, you need to get out of there as soon as possible. Get to Edgeville or somewhere, because if you don't, you will have trouble logging in, especially if your computer is not like a high quality anything. Once I leave Edgeville or leave Lumbridge, as you can see, it's quite a bit better. It's not perfect, but it's definitely better. And now stay out of Lumbridge for quite a while now, because I've heard people having problems getting into the game after being in Lumbridge, because it's just so like different now that for whatever reason it causes everybody to DC and stuff. So just stay out of Lumbridge for now, unless you know your computer can handle it, and you should be good. The next step that I recommend is, you can see the inventory, everything on my screen just looks like crap. At least that's my opinion. I don't see, like up here, you've got all this crap menus. You don't know where anything's at, which will take some getting used to, and everything just looks like garbage, right? You've got this bank out in random places, and it's just not good, right? So the whole advertisement behind RS3 was that it would be customizable. And it's very customizable, but you have to understand what you're doing first. So next, what you want to do is go to your settings, and now you've got a quick load layout. I currently have a custom layout made, and we will work on creating one later. But the one I recommend starting out with is retro. This is the closest thing to EOC as it was before. Everything's back in its place. And now when you open up your inventory, which is in this worn equipment, it opens up. Now, the next step is to set up all your preferences. So what you're going to want to do is go back to your options menu and go to edit mode. So now you see the screen goes black, and there is a ton of stuff you can do. Now what you're going to want to do is click Save as Preset. Choose Custom 1 for now, but since I already have one there, I'm going to go to Custom 2. And now begin to move your stuff as you wish. You can move all these menus. You'll see you can't move the XP counter. We'll get to that later. But you can move all this stuff wherever you want. You can move this as if you unlock it. You can drag this out to where, put all this where you want it. For now, since I currently like retro, I am going to keep all this fairly simple as it is. And now make sure you click Custom 2, Save Layout. Alright, so you've got your interfaces set up how you like. Play around with that to see what you like. But now you'll notice I've got some things really, like this XP counter is out of place. Confirm when you do that. And see, if I were to go to the bank's kind of in a weird spot on the screen. So how do you customize that now? Well, go back to your options, go to edit mode, and now you see at the advanced options you have 3D world editing, minigame HUD editing, and gameplay HUDs editing. The first one we're going to want to deal with is gameplay HUDs editing. You'll see all these weird things pop up, alright? But one of them is your XP trackers. So now you can drag your XP tracker to wherever you want it. I prefer it back where it was before. Say you were to die, you have this grave timer interface. I would probably put that right underneath and put the grave interface underneath it as well. Now you can see we've got game dialogue. There is no way to resize these menus, which is something I'm disappointed with, but I would recommend keeping game dialogue down here by where your chat box is. And if you play on a smaller screen, what you can go ahead and do is resize down your chat box so that it fits a little bit better. And you can shrink this down so that it's the same as your game dialogue. But I prefer to match it up with the action bar. So this is all up to you. You've got this thing, buffs and debuffs. Now, this is actually fairly important. I'm going to go ahead and save this to Custom 2. And you'll see if I were to go to my prayer menu, and let's say toggle turmoil, you see I've got, it shows up over here, right here, this little bitty icon. And it looks kind of garbage right there, I think. But this will show your boosted stats, if you're stunned or not. It'll show you all of that right there on the outside of your screen, which I think is really nice. But let's say you don't want it there. That's what your buffs and debuffs is. So go back to your gameplay HUDs editing. And then I would probably choose to put this right about there. This is all up to you. Now subscribe, if you're a member, don't worry about that, but this is where you can click to subscribe if you're free to play. Area status, this is going to be like if you're in the wilderness, it will tell you what level wilderness you're in. I'd probably put that in the top corner, or I noticed if you're at God Wars, that will be the thing that shows your kill count. So I'd recommend moving that to the top left if you want to create it as similar to EOC as possible. And then now you've got new task, task complete, crafting progress, central interface, and bank. For the bank, I would probably keep this somewhere in the center. It's going to have to overlap a little bit. Ooh, bad voice crack there. But it's okay. Keep in mind that, let's say I save this now, save and exit, confirm. I go to the bank. It's got this box off on the side. This is your inventory. You no longer deposit through your bank. It'll say backpack currently unavailable. So take that into consideration when putting it somewhere. You won't be able to resize it, which is kind of a disappointment, but I'm sure all of this stuff will be fixed in new time. See, this guy doesn't know how to set up his menus, so he hates it. I'll take your tour. No, I'm just kidding. But so now, actually, I gotta see something. Pernix hasn't bought yet or sold yet. Anyways, now go back to your settings, and now you can start. You can start to get the hang of this and customize it as you want. So go back to your gameplay HUDs. Bank, I like where that's at. Central interface, this is like your familiar inventory, beast of burden inventory, and things like that. So I'd keep that in the center, as the name would suggest. Crafting progress is like if you're let's say you were like crafting something, or smithing or anything, doing any skill, the progress bar shows up there. I'd keep that in the middle as well. And I'd pretty much just pile new task and task complete on top of each other. Just my personal opinion. But remember, this is all completely customizable. Say I wanted to make my mini-map big, which I do, like that. You can make it as big as you want. You can make it take up your whole screen. It's going to look bad because only one square of the game is loaded. But I found that doing it right about like this, right about here, fits good for me, and then I'd move my grave interface and everything over. So that's just how I do it. I find it to look the nicest. So now that you're done with that, go ahead, save and exit, and then just to make sure, go to, now you can go back to interface settings again. You can see, now you can start to look at all of your settings. Let's say this is where your XP tracker is going to be, is in your interface settings. So say you wanted to do anything with your XP tracker, you will be able to manage that in your settings tab, your interface settings. Let's say you don't like how the transparency is. You can move this up so that your menus are less transparent, or you can bring it all, or more transparent, I'm sorry, or you can bring it all the way down so you can't see through it all. I prefer to keep it in the middle. The rest of this I wouldn't worry about for now. Next, gameplay. This is mainly adventures log stuff, and the typical stuff that was there before, and your notes menu will be in here as well. Nothing to really worry about for now, but you can customize all that as you want. Now, controls is a big one. Before, let's say you don't like your action bar. This is where you're going to be able to edit your action bar right here. Action bar slot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all that stuff. You can customize all your keybinds this way. Mine is already set up because I did this earlier. And then you'll see there's lots of other controls you can toggle, which is really nice. So you can customize all that as you want. You can see my friends down here don't know what they're doing, so they're all raging about it. Graphics. This is your typical graphics menu. Don't need that. Audio, typical audio menu. That's all customizable. So that's pretty much it. Once you get your interfaces set up, it's going to be a lot better for you. Now, another thing that I've noticed people have been having trouble with is the action bar hasn't been showing up. If you save the action bar to your custom preset, sorry, it will show up every time. Now, some new locations of things. Your health bar is here. This is your adrenaline bar. Let's say you wanted to turn quick curses on and select quick curses. You'd right click on the prayer menu, and this is also your prayer points here. And then summoning. Let's say I had, for the purpose of this, I'll summon a uni and a couple scrolls. Okay. Now let's say I were to summon my uni. All of my familiar controls will show up right here, such as cast healing aura. All of the typical stuff will be right there. Alright. Now, you'll also see you are given 2 quick inventory clicks, which is nice for PvM. You can put food and prayer potions there. For skilling, you can drop your logs and fish or whatever there. And that can be selected by select quick inventory A, B. You can choose all that by selecting things in your backpack. Now, another problem that people seem to have is you'll see all the interfaces are really slow to get to. See, I have to go in here, click on open magic abilities, all that, really slow to get to. There's a couple ways you can fix this. If I were to go back to my controls setting, you'll see down here I can toggle the abilities with a keybind, and I prefer to not do that because it's not typical. But you'll see if I open things up, they get remembered up here. So say I needed to switch between backpack and prayer abilities, I can do that up here really quickly. And if that isn't quick enough for you, another thing you could always do is drag your backpack out here. And you can rearrange the order of these any way you like. You can drag that out here, and you could, let's say, open up your gear. You can put this wherever you want. You'd open up your prayers, and that is part of your curses, but you can create, or that's part of your backpack. All these will stay together. All your abilities and backpack and everything will stay there. God, that voice crack. So go ahead and close this. Now let's say you've got everything set up how you like it, and you're used to it, but sometimes you're moving around. Oh, you accidentally dragged something. You don't want to do that. Press L on your keyboard, and that will lock your screen for you. So now you can see I can't move or resize anything. And now let's say I decide, well, I don't really like that. I just press L again, unlock it, and you're good to go. Some other things that people have been having troubles with, where's the money pouch that is in your backpack, which mine got up here somehow. So I can quickly move that back and then press L on my keyboard and lock it again. The cash stack is right here. This is your money pouch and your price checker if you needed to price check anything. Right there. Let's say you wanted to get to your quests. Click on the quest thing. This will open up all your adventures things. Quests right here. And there's your quest list. It's all in a fairly similar spot. You've got your spins here. Stupid crap. All that kind of extras. That's what they call it now. And yeah, your friends chat, clan, all that is under here, and that will all be remembered up here. So if you want quick access, you can go there, click your arrows, go back here, set everything up, and order it as you need it for bossing or whatever. That's, I guess, it. Can't really think of anything else that people are having problems with. I've seemed to, really, if you have any problems, they can mostly be fixed by going to your edit mode or anywhere in your settings. And anytime you want to go back to the way you set it up earlier, just load your preset in this preset drop down box. And they've got quite a few presets already given for you, but most of them suck. Retro's the only good one that I've found so far. They've got like old school, which is actually their newest version of fixed. For those people who want fixed, you can load the old school thing. But that can also be, I'm going to cancel this for now. Let's confirm actually. But another way you can do this is going into your graphics settings and make your max screen size to 800 by 600, 1024 by 768. That will lower your screen for you. Other things you may try to increase your settings is instead of running on safe mode, you could go to DirectX or OpenGL. When I first logged in, it had me on safe mode, which isn't there anymore. So now I've brought it over to DirectX. Doesn't lag at all anymore. And this is all going to be based on your computer. And I'm assuming Jagex will come out with new ways for less powerful computers to handle this stuff. Just be glad you're not trying to run HTML5 right now if that's what you want to do. Another thing, your chat. You've got your private friends, clan, guest, emotes chat here. But let's say you wanted to turn this stuff off. You see you've got game messages, you've got all these lower, smaller things. So let's say I wanted my profanity filter off. I'd just click that right there. And now it's off. And I can turn it back on that way. Or say I wanted to turn my private off and appear offline. I'd just filter that. And now nobody can see that. Some other things that I've noticed that people have asked questions is you cannot yet do a split private chat and put that above your action bar, which is a bummer, but I'm assuming they'll come out with something like that. And another thing is these new divine tiers. They are not able to bank, so for that reason I have destroyed them. But you can turn them in Lumbridge, and you can get more by going to the place in Lumbridge. I'm not going to go over that because that's, in my opinion, kind of stupid right now. I don't really want to deal with that. So you can see once it's set up, I think everything's really nice. You can see maybe it's a bit hard to see my bank right now, so I could change my transparency by going to your settings, all that stuff. So I hope this helped you out. It was a bit lengthy because there's a lot to cover. So I wouldn't give up on it just yet and go quitting and selling your bank and having huge drop parties or anything, because there's still plenty to do. You know, there's still plenty of ways to customize it to your liking. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. I will try to answer them for you. If there's anything that I didn't cover that you're stuck with, I may be able to answer that for you, because I've gotten it pretty figured out to my liking as of now, and I like how everything is. So I hope this helped you guys out, and I will continue to make more RS3 videos in the future, but for now that's the end of this rather long video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.